Hi everyone, this is Amy, aka Amish. What a blessing it is to be able to come back and share a video and a testimony with you today. There's been a lot going on, and there's been still some studies I've gotten back into and some things I'm going to do soon. God willing, I can share some things that I've been learning and digging deeper into. I want to do a Passover message as well. Hopefully I'll be able to do that and get that done. But I want to share, today I'm sharing the testimony of God healing my body. And this is, I'm just going to have to start from the beginning because this is like really a big deal. So I was really, several weeks had gone by, I would say maybe in the last several months, right? And I was, feeling more tired than usual, just more pain than usual. A lot of things were just increasing. So then the last several weeks, I would say probably like December and January, it was to the point where at least the last few weeks were just unbearable in January. So I didn't know what was going on, and I just thought maybe the regular health issues that I have were just increasing and getting way worse. And there was many times where I was so sick and just unable to even, I was too weak to do really anything, and when I had to rest a lot just to do anything at all for even a short period of time. And I was just really sick. Just a host of symptoms that were going on, and I felt literally like I was going to die. I did. And I was crying out to God. I remember several nights before, I think it was the 26th of January this year, 2018. There was a few nights or times where I remember crying out to God and praying and scripturally praying, Lord, you promised that you wouldn't give me more than I can bear, and this is more than I can bear. I could not get through the pain anymore. I didn't know what was going on, and I just knew that something was terribly wrong. And I was just, crying, and I was very sick. So, and then I ended up going on the 26th to a just regular doctor appointment, and had a blood panel done for the first time, in I think a year. A really, a big blood panel. But anyway, it wasn't because of any specific reason. I just, I shared that I didn't feel good. I was really sick, and so the weekend had gone by. I was in bed pretty much the whole time, except for, here and there a few hours. So I call, there was a reason why I called the doctor's office, just to sort of see, ask a couple questions on Monday. That was the 29th of January. And they said, the receptionist talked to the doctor. They wanted me to come in right away, but I couldn't come in. And they said, you need to come in right away. And I just, for some reason, I didn't think I would be able to get in there that day. So they called me, the doctor called me back, said, Amy, you've got to get to the hospital right away. You have, I was, really shocked about this, and I said, why? And she explained to me that I had complete renal failure. So for those who don't know what that is, I had them specifically tell me too, because I didn't really know. It's complete kidney failure. And she said, I don't know if it's reversible. You have to get to the hospital right away. So I made all the phone calls that I could. I was very emotional. I made all the phone calls I could, because I should specify that the blood work came back from the 26th. It came back showing complete renal failure. It was just all over, So I made a couple of really important phone calls for prayer. To the congregation that I regularly attend, and another one that I've also served at, and calling my sisters and brothers in Christ, and called a friend, and she joined me with my other friend at the hospital. And so all of us are in prayer. A few of my siblings were praying for me, and it was a really rough night. It was a really rough time, and there was a lot of self-reflection and a lot of praying in my spirit to the Lord. And so I didn't know what to expect. So I was at the hospital, and they did, they got me ready apparently for dialysis and some things that you would have done if you have complete kidney failure. And I want to mention something. I never had any kidney problems. My kidneys were completely normal the year before. and never ever had any prior problems with my kidneys. So this was a complete shock to me, and it was very unexpected. So, I was in tears and everything like that, and I realized, that I wasn't crying for myself. I was crying for people who were here that I would leave behind, and so that's why I was crying. So the Lord just sort of showed me that. And then I was at peace, with God's will, because I'm here on this earth to serve and to do God's work that He has prepared ahead of time for me, as He is for all of His children that are called, and the laborers. So, I even, in my heart, I'm like, that's, if I'm not here to serve, then I'd rather be with the Lord. So I was at peace. So after, a few hours had gone by, the blood work came back, and the doctor came and told me, she said, I don't usually get to say things like this in this part of, with what I do. She said, I ran your blood work 2 times, and I'm listening to her. She said 2 times because I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I mean, she had seen the report, the blood work from a few days before that. And she said I had to run it twice because, and I ran it twice. And you have completely normal kidney function. You are okay to go home. And so I was in tears, rejoicing, and she called it a miracle. She said there's no explanation for this. And I said, yeah, God healed my kidneys. And it was amazing. So yeah, so I went home at the wee hours in the morning, and of course I was in recovery at that point. It took me roughly like a few weeks to recover, fully. Somewhere almost 2.5, 3 weeks to recover fully. Like, I slept all the time, I ate all the time, I drank a lot of water, because the pain was slowly decreasing in my flank, my back area here. The headaches that were really, really worse than anything I can imagine were decreasing every day. So God, He healed my kidneys, and then I was in recovery for weeks. So it's a miracle that I'm even here today, able to do this video and share this testimony of the Lord Jesus healing my body, healing my kidneys. Like, He gave me new kidneys. This is a miracle. And so the next day, I was really tired after the hospital, but I had to take my blood work and go see my doctor. And I took the blood work from the hospital, and she was like in utter shock. She looked at the blood work and she was like, "What is this?" And she said she was expecting some improvement from dialysis. She was expecting that, but I didn't get dialysis. I didn't get any treatment at all. All right. So, and she's like, "It's completely normal." She said, "You don't understand. Your kidneys were in complete failure. This blood work says completely normal." And she was actually praising Jesus. She was praising the Lord in the doctor's office. We were in the doctor's office with the door shut, and she was praising the Lord. And so she and another student doctor, they were, saying, "You know what? Get ready to work full time now for the Lord, because you got a testimony to share, and you have a lot of work to do." So I can't tell you how blessed I feel to be able to share that, to glorify God with the healing that He gave me, the healing of my kidneys, and to share with as many people as I can, because God is all powerful and He can do all things. And Jesus is our great physician. He's our healer, and He works through our, God uses our doctors to heal us in other ways as well, with surgeries and all kinds of stuff. But this was a no treatment of any kind from any doctors, healing from God. And want to share that with you today. And I am just, truly, every day I'm like even feeling more blessed, and I'm like, okay, now I've got a lot, there's stuff that I've been really studying and digging into that I'm excited to hopefully get to the point where, when it's in God's timing, to share with you and to get the messages out, because I'm doing a lot of research concerning, of course, the Easter, the papacy, and things like that, and what's going on in the world, and what's happening what happened with the high priest, where did he go? He's not actually the high priest anymore. There's a lot of stuff that I'm going to get into, and we could collectively do some research, because when I share this information, you know, maybe some of you out there can sort of like research some things too and share it, and we can sort of collectively do that. But I wanted to share that with you, and I want to encourage anybody out there just to just share my testimony. You know, you don't want to hide anything under a bushel. Your gifts of the Spirit, anything that the Lord gives you, just share it. Your talents, everything, and glorify Him with it. So I wanted to share that with you today, and that's my testimony for the miracle receiving a healing in my body. So until next time, God bless you all, and hopefully I'll get something done very soon. Okay, take care.